On the news tonight, Central Bank of Nigeria to flood banks with old Naira notes from tomorrow. People's Democratic Party suspends Fayose, Ayim and two others. Osun State Government places premium on the welfare of the disabled. White House warns Uganda of homosexual repercussions. Good evening, welcome to the major report. Babatunde Bolatito is my name. The Central Bank of Nigeria has finally concluded plans to release all 1,500 and 200 money bags. This decision is expected to end months of hardship and pain Nigerians have been going through following a controversial CBN Naira redesign policy that has caused a severe shortage of old and new notes across the country. The Central Bank of Nigeria's latest decision came several weeks after the Supreme Court ordered that old 1,500 and 200 Naira notes should remain legal tender until December 31, 2023. Top officials of the CBN and Central Bank of Nigeria confirmed, and commercial banks confirmed to newsmen that the CBN governor, Godwin Emefiele, had directed the deposit money banks to begin the disbursement of old 1,500 and 200 Naira notes to members of the public effective today. President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the redesignation of the State House Clinic back to Medical Center. Permanent Secretary of the State House, Mr. Tijani Umar, disclosed this in Abuja after a pre-commissioning inspection of the new presidential VIP wing of the State House Medical Center. The pre-commissioning inspection was carried out by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mr. Boss Mustafa, Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, and the Minister of State for Finance, Budget and National Planning, Mr. Clem Agba. In March 2019, the President had given approval that the State Medical Center Asokoro, which was facing challenges with funding, deterioration of infrastructure and equipment, be scaled down to a clinic until their challenges are addressed. According to him, with improvement in the problem areas, the addition of the new VIP wing with state-of-the-art facilities, it can no longer operate as a clinic, as it is now to operate as a State House Medical Center. He said all is set for the inauguration of the new world-class facility by the President to add to the growing number of completed and commissioned legacy projects of the present administration. President Muhammadu Buhari has signed two bills recently passed by the National Assembly into law. The Senior Special Assistant to the President on National Assembly Matters, House of Representatives Nasrul Illah, made this known in a statement issued titled Buhari Assent to Copyright Rights, Federal College of Medical Laboratory Science and Technology Just Bill. It added that the new Copyright Act expands the right of authors, raises the sanctions for criminal infringement, and more adequately address the challenges posed by digital and online use of copyright works. The Act also provides specially for the needs of the blind, visually impaired, and print-disabled persons to have access to learning and reading materials in accessible formats. According to law, the Act repealed the Federal School of Medical Laboratory Science Choice Establishment Act 2018 and enacted the Federal College of Medical Laboratory Science and Technology Just Act 2023. This is to make the institution more effective in the discharge of its function by strengthening the organizational framework and to bring its provision in conformity with the current democratic principles. The Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, Professor Issa Pantami, has said the federal government blocked over 3.8 million cyber attacks and threats during the governorship analysis of assembly elections across the country. Pantami said the blockade was facilitated by cyberspace infrastructures put in place by the government to monitor activities in the nation's cyberspace before, during, and after the elections. He said Nigeria recorded 3.8 million failed cyber attempts, both within and outside the country, at breaching cyberspace and information communications technology infrastructure. Senior Technical Assistant, Research and Development to the Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, Dr. Femi Adelui, said the attempts included distributed denial service, email and internet protocols proofing attacks, SSH login attempt, brute force injection attempt, path traversal, detection, evasion, and forceful browsing. The minister commended President Muhammadu Buhari for the support and approval of initiative to provide for and promote digital economy and cyber security. Some members of the House of Representatives have clashed over a bill seeking to legalize cultivation, sale, and use of cannabis, also known as marijuana, for commercial purposes. Two members of the House, Benjamin Kanu and Olumide Oshopa, had sponsored a bill seeking to amend the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency bill to expand the scope of the Anti-Narcotics Agency to issue licenses for the cultivation, sale, and use of marijuana. However, when the bill was up for second reading at the plenary, another member of the House, Miriam Onoha, protested that the content of the bill was same with hers, which she sponsored long ago. The Speaker of the House, Femi Gbajabiamila, in his ruling, asked both sides to liaise with the Chairman of the House Committee on Rules and Businesses, Abubakar Fulata, to identify the differences and similarities between the bills ahead of sitting today. Osho State Government will not relent at motivating teachers, most especially those attending to people with special need, to ensure academic excellence in schools across the state. Governor Ademola Adeleke stated this at the handing over ceremony of the inclusive education equipment and materials to children and young persons with disabilities in mainstream schools. Sahid Adeboye has the details.
Primary School Oshogbo was the venue of the program where stakeholders in ensuring quality education for disabled gathered to be part of yet another historic event. Addressing the gathering, Governor Ademola Adeleke said that within 100 days in office, people with special needs have benefited immensely from the present administration. Governor Adeleke, who was represented by his deputy Prince Kola Adewusi, appreciated the efforts of the organizers, saying that their project will ensure the comfort of the student with special needs even while studying. He noted that the state government will do everything possible to better the lots of the physically challenged. He called on the beneficiaries of the various projects to cultivate the maintenance culture to serve as encouragement for others who shall assist further.
It will be quickly looked into so that you can have the rest of mind that your rights can be taken care of by provision of law supporting it.
In his speech, the Executive Secretary of Subeb, Mr. Yahya Bakari, was represented by the Director of Social Mobilization and Special Education, Adeoye Adebola, noted that Subeb appreciates the community advancement for self-reliance effort aimed at bringing comfort to students with special needs. He also commended the state government for the provision of free education and free meal at the special schools across the state. According to him, child education is a collective responsibility which must not be compromised. Mrs. Eni Ayen is the Executive Secretary, Community Advancement for Self-Reliance Effort, while speaking, explained that our NGO, in collaboration with Leprosy Association of Nigeria, have worked to support inclusive education for all in Osogbo and Olonda local government of the state. Mrs. Ayen noted that the various projects are aimed at ensuring enrollment of the young and the physically challenged. She called for the enactment of the disability law, which she said will reduce discrimination being faced by the physically challenged. The chairman, Joint Association of People with Disability, Mr. Stephen Oluwafemi, thereafter presented the disability draft bill to the governor. The program climaxed with the commissioning of an equipped ICT room and toilet facilities for students with special needs. From the office of the Deputy Governor, this is Saeed Adeboje reporting.
Representative has urged the federal government through its relevant agencies to fix dysfunctional facilities at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja. The House at plenary today specifically urged the government to, as a matter of urgency, fix the escalators and lifts at the airports across the country, as well as provide more airside buses and conveying belts. The House also mandated its Committee on Aviation to ensure compliance with the resolution and report back within 1 month for further legislative action. According to the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria data on flights and passenger, NAIA is the nation's second busiest airport after the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos. Broadcasters in the media industry have been admonished to be more professional and efficient in their services to the public. Former Nigerian ambassador to Philippines, Dr. Yemi Farumbi, alongside other guest speakers, gave the admonition at the Society of Nigerian Broadcasters Workshop held in Osogbo State Capital. Our reporter, Oluwatobiloba Odunuga, was present at the workshop and filing this report.
Broadcasters from Ogun, Oyo, Ekiti and Osun states, among others, converge on Osogbo, the Osun State capital, to draw from the confluence of wisdom of experienced professionals in the media industry at a workshop organized by the Society of Nigerian Broadcasters with the theme Review of Broadcast Ethics in the 2023 General Elections in Nigeria. In their separate remarks, former Nigerian ambassador to Philippines, Dr. Yemi Farumbi, and consultant to Governor of Osun State on OSBC, Dr. Femi Adefila, maintained that it is expected that broadcasters will enrich their audience with content which would, at every point in time, inform, educate, and entertain them as a way of enriching their daily lives. They added that if the vision and objectives of the Society of Nigerian Broadcasters is realized, it will help in deepening the richness of democracy and joining broadcasters to be more professional in the areas of content, operations, and productions.
We introduced the concept of mentorship. Those who know will teach those who do not know. And those who are recently know will teach those who are yet to know. Then you will find that before we know it, we all become acculturated. We become subscribers to these ethical standards. And it will make broadcasting in Nigeria completely different and unique.
Either you are functioning within the private space or the public space as far as broadcasting is concerned, ethics, professionalism are the essential ingredients. Somebody said that a man without ethics is like a wild beast unleashed on the society. So ethics is the restraint, the code of conduct that will guide what you do and how you do your job. And I'm happy that this is one thing that this association wants to achieve.
In his first presentation on the paper, Essence of Professionalism in Broadcasting, former Director General, National Broadcasting Commission, NBC and Human Society.
My advice is that you must be professional. As long as you are professional and you insist in doing the right thing, then you will get. Then a broadcaster must stop going after each other's job. And that, to a large extent, will encourage people who are in position to do the right thing.
While delivering the second paper on the topic, Review of Broadcast Ethics in the 2023 General Elections in Nigeria, Professor Jendele Ungbo maintained that professional ethics means principles, observance, and enforcement.
Professional ethics, what are we looking at?
We're talking about principles and corporate standards that govern the behavior of an individual or group in a particular field of engagement. So here, that's where you can place broadcast ethics as a subset of professional ethics. It confers responsibility for observance and enforcement of standards. So you must have the responsibility to observe standards is there.
The workshop, which saw the attendance of the Director General of OSBC, Mr. Rashid Folaromi, including the Directors, News and Current Affairs, OSBC Radio and Television, Mrs. Abimbola Babatunde and Mr. Akinola Wolabi, and Director of Sports, Mr. Muideen Adeleke, among others, featured group discussion and interactive session between broadcasters and guest speakers on the area of concentration in moving the Society of Nigeria Broadcaster forward as a body which would continue to uphold and promote integrity among broadcasters in Nigeria. Oluwa Tobiloba, Odu Nuga, OSBC News.
The Senate President, Ahmed Lawan, has urged the Muslim faithful in Nigeria in the month of Ramadan to pray for a peaceful transition of power at the national and sub-national levels in the coming months. In his goodwill message, he said, this Ramadan period provided an opportunity to pray for the success of incoming administration both at the federal and state levels as they will assume the onerous task of continuing the building of a virile and prosperous Nigeria. The Senate President added that as a country, Nigeria has made some good progress in its political voyage and still learning, noting that those who had gone further also encountered challenges. Our former Deputy Senate President, Ike Ikerenbadu, and his wife, Beatrice, have been convicted of organ trafficking in the United Kingdom. A jury found that Senator Ike Ikerenbadu, age 60, and his wife, Beatrice, 56, and a medical middleman, Dr. Obinna Obeta, 50, guilty of conspiracy to bring a young man to Britain to give his kidney with a view to his exploitation after a 6-week trial. They were said to have criminally conspired to bring the 21-year-old Lagos street trader to London to exploit him for his kidney. Their daughter, Sonia, aged 25, wept as she was clear of the same charge today. The victim, a 21-year-old street trader from Lagos, was taken to the UK last year to provide a kidney to Sonia in an £80,000 private transplant at the Royal Free Hospital in London. Now welcome to our sports segment. Guinea under-23 head coach Molaye Cisse has expressed his disappointment following his side 0-0 draw against Olympic Eagles match played here recently. The young Silly star made a number of scoring chances in 2023 Africa Under-23 Cup of Nations first leg qualifying tie at the Moshood Abiola Stadium in Abuja. Both teams will clash in the reverse fixture next Tuesday in Rabat, Morocco. Despite holding the Olympic Eagles in front of their fans, Cesar frowns at his inability to win the game. According to him, the player did well but failed to score in the game. The overall winners of the contest will qualify for the 2023 Under-23 AFCON to be staged in Morocco. Now to foreign story. The White House has warned Uganda of possible economic repercussions if a new bill to crack down on homosexual activities becomes law. The National Security Council spokesman, John Kelly, told journalists that they will have to take a look at whether or not there might be repercussions that they will have to take, perhaps in an economic way, should the law actually get passed and enacted. The bill proposes life sentences for those people who identify as gay in Uganda, which also include death penalties in certain cases. The European Union has also expressed deep concern about the anti-homosexuality bill, as it said the criminalization of homosexuality is contrary to international human rights law. It however said the Union will continue to engage in the Ugandan authorities and civil societies to ensure that all individuals, regardless of their sexual orientation and gender identity, are treated equally with dignity and respect. To end the major report, here again are the main points. Central Bank of Nigeria has vowed to float banks with old Naira notes from tomorrow. People's Democratic Party has announced the suspension of former Governor Ayodele Fayose of Ekiti State, Ayim, and two others. Osun State government has promised to place premium on the welfare of the visually impaired in the society. And it also told you that White House has warned Uganda of repercussions of homosexuality. That ends the major report on Osbc TV. It was edited by Kayode Adebayo. Babatunde Bolatito is my name. Thank you for being there. Goodbye.
Hey, Star Times don't bring una another nyafu reward this Easter and Ramadan season. Oh, this one na extra jara, and now why we call am Season of Goodness promo. We get thousands of juicy content where you fit choose from. You and your family go fit enjoy ogbonge series on ST Novella like Three Sisters, Kiddies Channel like Cartoon and Jim Jam, plenty Nollywood channels, and many religion channels. To enjoy this offer, recharge for 2 months on Nova, Basic, or Smart Bouquet, and you get an instant boost to the next higher bouquet. Recharge 2 months on top your Classic or Super, and you go enjoy 10 days extra. This promo now from March 20, go reach April 30. No door yourself, oh. Hurry, make yourself collect your own days of goodness. Terms and conditions apply. Star Times, entertain your family.
اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم وأتممت عليكم نعمتي ورضيت لكم الإسلام دينا.
Ọlọ́run sọ pé òun ti ṣàṣepé Ìsìláàmù gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹ̀sìn fún gbogbo wa.
وما أمروا إلا ليعبدوا الله مخلصين.
Allah tún sọ síwájú pé a kò gbọdọ̀ jọ́sìn fún nǹkan kan yàtọ̀ sí òun.
من ذا الذي يقرض الله قرضا حسنا فيضاعفه له أضعافا كثيرة
ta lẹni tó ṣetán láti fi ẹgbẹ̀rún kan náírà bọ́lọ́hun ṣòwò tí yóò sì gba èrè rẹ̀ padà lẹ́gbẹ̀rún.
أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون.
gbogbo ẹ̀yin olùgbàgbọ́ òdodo Ọlọ́run lòun ṣe ààwẹ̀ oṣù Ramadan lọ́ranyàn fún wa ká lè fi ìpayà hàn.
gbogbo mùsùlùmí òdodo a kó àfojúsọ́nà àti múrasílẹ̀ oṣù kẹ́ oṣù ìgẹ̀ oṣù Ramadan yóò bá wa láyé àtàlàáfíà gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìṣe wa lọ́dọọdún iléeṣẹ́ OSBC tún gbàràdá pẹ̀lú ọ̀kan òjọ̀kan ètò tí múni gbalada lọ́dọ̀ Allah láì di iṣẹ́ olóore míì lọ́wọ́ gbogbo àwọn ètò wa lówó bẹ́lẹ̀ ń jà lórí rédíò àti tẹlifíṣàn wa àdúpẹ́ tọdún tó lọ àjọṣe wa ò ní bàjẹ́ ẹ kàn sí ìgbìmọ̀ oṣù Ramadan ti OSBC 2023 nílé àwíyé òkè baálé Òṣogbo ẹ sì lè pe àwọn nọ́mbà yìí 0806 664 9535 tàbí 0803 552 4660.
أياما معدودات فمن كان منكم مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخر.
شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان فمن شهد منكم الشهر فليصم ومن كان مريضا أو على سفر
dédé àsìkò yìí ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi nílé lóko lódò mi rò pé anybody máa wà lóko àbí.
ẹ kú dédé àsìkò yìí ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa ẹ kàn wọ́n sórí ètò wa ẹ bá wa dá sí ẹ̀yin aráalé gẹ́gẹ́ bí wa kú ṣe mọ̀ wípé àsìkò ọ̀gìnìtì òun la wà lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí gbogbo wa ti mọ̀ pé òjò ti dé lórí àwọn ọmọ wa bá ṣe lè máa wọ aṣọ fún wọn bóyá a máa wọ cardigan àrèyí tá a mọ̀ sí swẹ́tà àwọn arúgbó wa tó lè máa jẹ oúnjẹ gbígbóná àbí àwọn ọmọ wa ká lè máa mójútó wọn bó ṣe ń lọ léèwé lórí gọ́tà ká mọ̀ àdí wípé omi yalé àgbàrá ya ṣọ́ọ̀bù lórí atẹ́gùn tó ń ṣí ilé ẹyẹ wa orúkọ mi kò yí padà Rachel Bẹ́wàjí lórúkọ mi ẹ wá nǹkan fìdílé kan á ti wà nígboro kí ni wọ́n ní fún wa kí ni wọ́n fẹ́ bá wa sọ lórí àsìkò ọ̀gìnìtì yìí ẹyẹ wa ẹ máa bá wa ká lọ.
wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ wà kí a fún wọn dì fún wọn kọ́ mọ́ wọ cardigan fún wọn kọ́ ṣáàrí wípé níbi kankan ò lù lára wọn tí òtútù lè gbà wọlé kọ́ mójútó ayé wọn tọrọ làwọn lọmọ wọn.
a múra fáwọn ọmọ wa a wọ cardigan fún wọn àwọn ètí tó lọ school a múra